Okay, so Stockopedia is a complete goldmine of fantastic information on stocks. And when you do find a stock of interest, you're going to want to track it. And the best way to track it is in a portfolio. We call them folios, and whether it's a transaction-based folio or a watch list or how you're treating it, we do manage that pretty much the same. I'm going to show you all the ways that you can get stocks into folios from around the different parts of the site. And it's worth watching because it will really help your usability of the site. So let's go and get started. And before anything, I'm going to create a portfolio. So you go to the Folios sub-tab in the nav, create a folio, and I'm just going to call this watch list. Okay? You can choose a benchmark to track it against, because once you do get your stocks in there, you will be able to see a simulated performance, whether it is a transaction portfolio or not. Now, very quickly, when you are in that watch list, I'm going to drag it to the top, you can add a stock direct from there. If it's empty, you'll see a nice block here saying add stock, or the blue add stocks button is always available. So let's say Vodafone, and I click and I add Vodafone. You can add multiple straight from here. Shell, any stocks of interest, and they will all be there in our database. And we've got bags of international stocks. Immediately you can see in the watch list is the historical 1 year performance of all those stocks equal weighted in the portfolio against the benchmark you set up in the grey line here. And you can see in the list below the 2 stocks that you've added. Now let's say we want to go and browse the site. So I'm going to go to browse, and I'm going to look at, for example, some sectors. I'm interested, let's say, in the energy sector. Click into energy, and you'll see a big database of stocks. If any of them are of interest as you go down through the list, you can click 88 Energy, let's say. I'm going to focus on UK stocks. And you can check multiple of these as you wish. And then, let's say there's another one there, Adriatic Oil. And at the top left of any table on the site, you will see Add to Folio. Click Add to Folio, and there you will see at the top the watch list that we created just a moment ago. And click Add. Now they've both been added to the watch list. If you go back to your watch list, you will find them right there in the list next to the other stocks that you'd already added from that page. Now, if you were to go and do stock screens or any other kinds of lists, you will always see these checkboxes down the left-hand side of the list of stocks. And that's so useful and powerful wherever you are on the site. If you're looking at indices, sectors, stock screens, or another one of your portfolios, you can use that utility to go and add them to any portfolio. But we also make this available actually on the stock reports themselves. So let's go and have a little look at, ASOS, which is a big retailer in the UK market. And here you can see on the stock report, all lovely and laid out, there is that familiar blue Add to Folio button on the right here. Click it, and again you see the familiar pop-up with your list of portfolios. You can click Add to Watch List, and if you want, you can click the box to add a transaction data too. I'm not going to do that now, but click Add, and again that's been added to your folio in the background. The other way you can do this is if you're navigating through the discussion area of the site. You might be reading, let's say, the very popular small cap reports that comes out on the site regularly. And if any stocks have been tagged in that, you will often see a report on the right-hand side. Here's an example called Evraz. Evraz is in the sidebar, and you will see a little plus and a blue button saying Add to, which again adds to your watch list. So all of these ways come together into a really easy way to start generating lists and start managing and monitoring those lists. And once you've built up those lists, it becomes a really powerful resource, as you can then go and look at all our wonderfully powerful data on all those stocks. You can set alerts, you can analyze income data, growth data, or even view them all as charts. So I'd encourage you to go on there, start generating your own lists, and that's really the beginnings of just getting the most out of the site. Cheers.